The thief. Where's the thief? It's in a bottle, isn't it? Thief in a bottle. Because alcohol will steal everything away from you. It'll take away all of your ambition, all your confidence. Eventually it'll take your health. Your reason for being, your light, your purpose, your family. You become insular. It'll ruin your mind. You can't think straight. You can't think clearly. It takes your soul first, though. It takes your mind. I became obsessed with it. And then eventually it took my body and had serious medical issues. I nearly died in 2019. You can get back from that, though. But you've got to remember, and I speak to lots of people now, since I started this 18 months ago. I myself didn't even realise there were so many people with alcohol issues. All over the world I speak to people now. It's incredible to be able to help people. And we don't realise that every drink we take makes us worse. And it takes over your mind first. And you think, wow, this is quite good. I quite like this. I like the fact that it lowers my inhibitions. If you've got a bit of social anxiety, it makes you feel, oh, I feel a bit good now. I can chat to people, I can do this, that, and the other. Eventually you'll become so weak with it, you won't want to speak to anybody. I've just been to a hospital, local hospital with my partner. She's about to have an x-ray or something. Anyway, I went to that hospital. I've been many times before. I was in there for nearly 2.5 years. And I mentioned that there's a wheelchair outside. And so when I was in this hospital, I was pushed around by porters, even went to x-ray in a bed, you know. And I said, I felt so vulnerable having to ask people for things. It takes away everything, from me. And I don't want that to happen to you. If you're watching this, know that you've got some interest in alcohol, you may have a relative that's got problems. Because if you're a heavy drinker and you can't let go of it, not everybody's like me, or like yourselves, or like heavy drinkers. I'm not saying everyone's a big drinker. 95% of the population have a social drink. Once you become a heavy drinker, you cannot drink socially. And then you'll maybe, like I did, and a lot of other people, will have a little time off it, sober a few weeks, sober a few months, and then you'll start again. And the thief will steal it again, steal your mind again. And you're back to square one. You've got to be, it's the addiction, you see. It's waiting there all the time. It's waiting just to grab you by the bullocks, as it were. And it never leaves you. So that's why alcoholism cannot be cured. And you've got to be vigilant all the time. Because once it's got into you, my dad used to use this expression, don't let it get a grip of you. Once it gets a grip of you, then all your ambitions go out the window. Your purpose in life is no longer there. Your sole purpose becomes alcohol. And it happens very quickly. Some people get very addicted very, very early in life. I think I was addicted when I was in my early 20s. I functioned for many years, but it was torture. It's hard work, alcoholism. It's the hardest battle I've ever had to fight, and I have to fight it every day. Because I couldn't stop. I had no off switch. And that's the problem. We tend to be people who are overthinkers. We tend to be caring people. We worry too much. And we also, I think alcoholics have very active minds. And I used to drink to calm things down. I had a very busy job when I was in central London, in the police service. It was busy and it was great fun. And it was always good to have a couple of drinks after work. And I believe most of the lads did that. But some of us had more than a couple. Because I used to have a couple in one pub, then have a couple in another pub, then go to the underground, get home, have a few more cans in the house, and the whole cycle would start again. Then on my days off, I would drink 20, 25 pints, which is absolutely ridiculous. So eventually I became weak with it, and I still had to function. And every day became torture, even the anxiety level, or anxiety they call it now. I lived through anxiety for years. And then after that, I became even more addicted to it. And once I retired, it was even worse. I got divorced, I lived on my own. Boredom creeps in, something to do. What do people do on the board? Let's go for a pint. Make friends in a new area or something like that. And then you get back onto it again. Then it steals everything again from you. It never stops. It's a very controlling drug. People who say it doesn't control you are talking nonsense, because it controlled my life. It controls many people's lives that I've spoken to. I've spoken to people from the ages of 21 to 91 about alcoholism. It happens any time in age. Some people don't start drinking heavily until they're in their 30s. And they still get hooked on it, because we're just susceptible to that. latches onto something in the brain. It causes us to think, well, we can handle this. We can handle it. I'll just try one or two. The amount of times that I've said I'll just try one or two, it never ever worked. And it's never going to work. It's as simple as that. Because one or two will always turn into more. Even if you just have one or two one day, the next day you'll think you can drink again. I don't know why we think it's socially acceptable just to go and get hammered all the time. Why do we feel the need to go to the pub? Why do you need to feel the need to go to the shop and get 6 cans of beer? Or people drink spirits, bottles of whiskey, wine, whatever it is, whatever alcohol, you get. It's always bad for you, isn't it? Even one drink's harmful. People will argue with me and say, oh, it's going to be all right and all this nonsense. It depends how you're made up. It depends if you're unlucky enough to be caught by it. Because it will, as I said, it'll steal everything from you. I've spoken to a lot of people who live on the streets, have alcohol problems, lost their house, lost their job. Obviously, you can't work properly when you're an alcoholic. You can't function properly. As I said, your light is gone. The sparkle in your eyes is gone. The dead eyes are gone. You look at alcoholics, they're slow in the movement. They're slow in the speech. They're slow in the mind. They don't mean to be like that, No one sets out when they're 19, 20, 30, 40 and says to themselves on a Monday morning, I'm going to be an alcoholic. It happens. But my message to people, because I'm going to say near 60, I am near 60, but the wrong side. To younger people especially, is to get off it and get fit. Because I'm getting fit now. It's maybe too late. It's too late. If I'd stuck with my program, what I wanted to do in life, I'd be a lot healthier and happier. I'm very happy at the moment, but I'm trying to put this message across. If you can get off it, you can cut down initially, and just get off it completely is the key. If you've got a problem with it. If you haven't got a problem with it, it's fine to have a social drink. No one's saying that you shouldn't have a drink. I mean, I get lots of comments, negative comments about, oh, my auntie was 125 and she drank a bottle of brandy. That's very rare that people can drink forever. Because statistically, if you're using alcohol to excess, you've got alcohol use disorder, then you will die 20 to 25 years younger than the general population. Not just because of liver disease, but kidney problems, pancreatitis is linked to 7 types of cancer, strokes, heart disease, lung disease, even bone density problems. There's more chance of accidents, there's more chance of suicides. It goes on and on and on. Alcohol is linked to 50% of murders, probably more than that. 70 to 80% of domestic violence. You don't see many armed robbery gangs in the old days, not many armed robberies now, going out without a drink. Everything's planned in the pub, isn't it? It all revolves around drink. Even people's funerals, there's a drink. Let's go to John's funeral, be a drink at the free bar. It's just so woven into our lives. It's hard to get rid of it. It's hard to get rid of this stigma of being alcoholic as well. Even doctors, I think, look down a little bit. Doctors drinking, they just say, oh, just cut down a little bit, cut down a little bit. It's not taken seriously enough by the medical profession. That's the problem. That's what I think. I mean, I can't change it. It's going to be government level. But there's so many tax receipts taken in, in revenue, who will never change. Because money makes the world go round. What will you say? Wars are because of money. Especially the modern wars. The most recent ones, it's about land and about minerals and all this sort of thing. That's a bit off the scale here. This one's a bit off topic. But get yourself sober, get yourself fit. If you want any help with it, then there's a link in the description part of all the videos. Get in touch with me and I'll get you sober. And if you like the videos or you benefit anyway, please like and share them. I've got an ebook out as well. I'm going to put some links under that. And I'll speak soon.